Hello, fellow Cravers, and welcome back. We are here with another WWE Predictions. It is the CTG Wrestle podcast. As always, you have me, GD. I'm joined by Hanksy, and Heavenly's back as well. How are you both?
All good, all good.
All fine, thank you.
Weekend.
It's been a nice week, hasn't it? Since we've been, well, me and Hanksy's been on here.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is time for, I'm going to be honest, a very weak-looking pay-per-view. Backlash. One that...
A very, not very discussed pay-per-view.
No, it's not.
It's been a mess. It's been a bit of a mess, hasn't it? Because of the whole...
Greatest ever Royal Rumble.
Well, it's not
the greatest ever Royal Rumble because of Titus O'Neil, not because of any of the matches.
Give him his juice. He's actually playing with it at the moment, so...
I thought he did really well on Raw this week.
Yeah,
so.
I like him. Anyway, so as always, we're going to be talking about the greatest Royal Rumble, and we are going to be doing our predictions for Backlash as well. But we are going to be kicking off on the screen with Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. So let's jump in.
Oh. This has got to be one of the most under-talked about matches ever.
Yes and no. So we
kind of... It has been discussed, but just not massively.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
there's no lead up to it.
So we've got to explain a little bit here. So we've got Raw v Smackdown technically on here again. If people don't know, all pay-per-views now with WWE are going to be co-branded, starting from this pay-per-view, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And but because of the Superstar shake-up, we already had this match set in stone before that. It was going to be Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. Whatever championship was available will probably have been online, but by the looks of things, neither of them won a championship during the Greatest Royal Rumble.
No.
Well, Roman did, just didn't get given it, did he?
Ooh, I can't wait to really...
When we get there.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that when we get there.
But, yeah, like you both said, this match has been a little bit under the radar, which is kind of weird because a lot of people have been wanting this match again.
Yeah, I mean, problem is it's not for anything, is it?
No.
There's no real massive grudge. I mean, there is a grudge because because it's Joe, and Joe has a grudge against everybody. So there is a grudge. And there's always a grudge when it's Joe. But there's no massive, as Heavenly said, there's no real build up to this. They've talked about it. It was sort of like, Joe coming out and saying, "I'll fight you for whether you've got the title or not." Which made us all presume that there would be a title.
The whole thing is weird anyway, because we're still following on with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar from the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
With my feet landed before your feet thing. And it's like, so he goes in the ring and he's talking about that, completely not talking about this weekend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then we're having a bit of cross-branding and everything to...
Yeah, look, I'm on the Titantron. Hi, look, it's me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm glad that, it makes me glad that Roman didn't win the title, because I think we don't know. I don't know who's going to win this one. It's a difficult one to call.
Yeah.
Had Roman got the title, then obviously you'd call it for Roman, because you think, well, they're not going to have. Well, we'll discuss the other title match later, but you'd end up with both titles being on SmackDown. That's not going to happen.
No.
So you would presume Roman was going to win it. But now he hasn't got the title. It means that that we don't know who's going to win it, and it is a difficult one to call, I think.
Well, this is the problem with having cross-branded pay-per-views, because it's always going to be a problem. And the one thing that I hate the most, I think, if they were going to cross-brand pay-per-views, they should cross-brand Raw and SmackDown as well.
Yeah.
Because the problem is now we're getting a situation where we've got people going for titles from different brands. We know they're not going to win it because they ain't going to be taking that title back to their brand, and it's just ridiculous.
I don't have a problem with co-branded pay-per-views. What I have a problem with is crossover matches like this when there's no
for a title.
When there's a title on the line, because you do, unless both titles are up for grabs and they're both crossover matches, you know who's going to win there.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you got to remember with this pay-per-view here, we've just come back from a superstar shake-up, so we've still got those little bit of grudges that still need to be ironed out. And I'm going to be honest, this is one of those.
One of them, was it?
It was one that kind of came up just straight after WrestleMania. Samoa Joe shown up again, blah blah blah, all that lot, made fun of Roman Reigns, upset him a little bit.
Yeah, but again, this is what I find bizarre because the week after that was the shake-up.
Yeah, and he moved over to SmackDown. Yeah.
They knew Joe was going to move, so why
bring
do
it back
that?
up? I know, and it's like I understand that before Samoa Joe went off injured, they were building some kind of thing up then, but it was so at the beginning of it. It didn't need to be followed through.
I completely forgot about it.
It really didn't need to be followed through.
I
They could have created him a better one with somebody who was also going to move over to SmackDown. Would have been much better in my opinion.
For me, I think they would have been better off holding off for a week and then having Joe turn up during, I don't know, whatever. Somebody's on SmackDown, Big Cass or something, doing their bit, and then Joe comes out and basically calls them out. That's what they should have done. So it's just held their nerve for a week.
Yeah. So it's almost like this match has become a little bit of a non-match, really.
Yeah.
Because really, if I'm honest, I'm not really fussed who wins either way.
Well, no, because one, there's no massive investment in it because there's been no build-up, so you're not rooting for one side or the other.
Well, it's not like they even affect.
Unless you're a Roman hater, in which case you're always rooting for the. But
that's most of us at the moment,
for
isn't
me.
Yeah, but that is the thing that is bizarre about it, isn't it? Because we've got the situation on Raw this week where you've got both Roman and Joe out. Joe's the heel, Roman's supposed to be the face, and everybody's cheering for Roman, booing Roman, and it's like, okay.
But then again, at the same time, this week's Raw was going to be a weird one anyway because it was in Canada. There seems to be most of the time it does seem like it goes upside down when it comes to that route.
People forget. Exactly, it does turn everything upside down. Obviously, you knew that Sammy and Kevin were going to get massive cheers.
That was a brilliant feeling coming out, just talking French and thinking really this is perfect.
Because they're not, and it wasn't just Canada. It wasn't Toronto. This was Montreal. This is where they both come from.
Yeah.
They were all doing massive cheers. Plus, everyone forgets Brock Lesnar's Canadian. People forget that. So again, there's that element of Roman. Nobody's going to cheer for Roman.
No one cheers for Roman in his own home state. I'm going to be honest.
Exactly, and they're definitely not going to cheer for him. In Canada with Brock coming from there. So, the fact was actually the funny thing was the only Canadian who didn't get massive cheers on the night was poor old Jinder Mahal.
Yeah,
because he doesn't celebrate it.
He doesn't associate as being Canadian, but we all know that he is.
Right,
poor old Jinder. So
so let's talk a little bit about the matches at the Greatest Royal Rumble as well. But first, before we do that, predictions for this match. Who do you think is going to win, Roman Reigns or Samoa Joe?
Samoa Joe.
I think Samoa Joe.
I don't know.
Because it doesn't matter. He's just come back from injury. I'm going for Samoa Joe to make him a big force to be reckoned with on SmackDown.
I'm going to say...
I'm tending to tip towards Roman, but... Go on.
I'm going to say Samoa Joe as well, because I'm starting to think that WWE Universe is starting to give up on Roman Reigns. You notice at Raw this week, a lot of the focus was on Braun Strowman during the match.
Yeah.
And I think the rumours are that backstage they are going to be starting to push Braun Strowman over Roman Reigns from now on as well, which a lot of people
Braun's
have
going to
wanted.
get a push.
Yeah.
But, Braun's going to get a big push. I don't think...
And
I don't
they're
think
turning him face. Let's not forget
they're
that.
turning massively face. But I don't think Roman's going to... I don't think they're going to stop pushing Roman because it's Roman. I still think Roman will pick this up because I think that... Well, I think he's due a win, isn't he, to be fair? But,
Dirty Dexter says on Twitch, I thought it was clever of them to have Jinder come out to the hometown crowd without mentioning he's from there, then having KO and Zayn come out to the Ordination. And just show that they're willing to show he's Canadian without admitting it as kind of a joke on their own story.
That's right.
Yeah,
it is,
Yeah. No, I like that. So...
The thing is as well is though, if you weren't really into WWE, that that could be lost on you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I imagine there's some people who are a little bit confused about why he was a part of that match.
Yeah,
Truly getting the fact that he is actually Canadian.
Yeah, the fact is
and has a proper Canadian accent.
This is it. Three of them, the three guys on that side of that three, the tag team, all of them were from basically. They were hometown boys.
Which with WWE's path as well, you lose in your hometown. I've noticed as well.
Oh, we knew they were going to win.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it's the unwritten rule of WWE. You're home, you're losing.
The only person that wins at home is Charlotte, because nobody beats a Flair in Charlotte. So that's sort of like the rule.
Anyway, let's talk about these two matches. So let's talk about the controversial match: Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar in the steel cage. Look, Roman won that match.
I thought it was a good match.
It was a good match, but
Roman
won it.
Do you know what? I don't know whether or not this is a case of, because there was no way of being 100% sure when they went through that steel cage who was going to land where. There was no
but
way
it was kind of
they could
obvious
have
at
been
the
sure
same
about it.
time when you
I
saw.
wonder if his feet hit the floor by accident first, and then they've had to make up this whole referee thing off the cuff.
He rolled out. He hit the ground on purpose. I think he
Yeah.
rolled out. It's It's been worked, isn't it? He won that match, but didn't take the title. There's an entitlement storyline coming up.
It's all right, but at the same time, you're looking at it there, and you got the referee saying, "Oh yeah, but his back touched the ground first." You're the referee. You know the rules.
Yeah.
We was actually said so many times to us. It's both feet have got to touch the ground. It's like anything that includes you having to be thrown off somewhere, anywhere. Both feet have got to touch the ground. Yeah. And it just everyone's just looking at it thinking, "It's fair there."
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. It was funny because I'd been looking at Twitter about 2 minutes before that, and somebody had said, this is going to finish with Roman spearing him through the cage, and then he did. And I think people could see what's going on. But it's clever, isn't it? Because it's an entitlement storyline being set up now, isn't it? He did win that match, but he was robbed. It means he's going to come back.
Yeah, Dirty Dexter says he may have rolled out, but he hit his head and was really disoriented.
Yeah, he did. And this was something that we picked up on that night as well. Because when I saw the replay back of it, I was like, that was a nasty fall for Roman.
Oh, he did take...
He took a really nasty fall to his head and his neck.
Yeah, he did.
Definitely, he shouldn't have come down like that. Yeah. So at the same time, he might not have realised that he actually had rolled off it. Yeah. I still genuinely believe that they've had to do this because Roman rolled off onto his feet. That's what I really, truly think has happened. Because it's such a all of a sudden thing. I reckon enough people complained and said, whoa, wait a minute. Do you know what I mean? So they've had to do something to try and make it so that it's just like, oh, God,
Yeah. It's a Shawn Michaels
referee mistake. It's one of them.
No.
So, that's what I think.
Remember they changed the rules mid-Royal Rumble to say both feet have to touch the ground.
Yeah.
Because Shawn Michaels put
if
one
it was
foot
a if it was a work, we would have heard about it before now. Yeah, that's the way I see it.
But it's not
it would have actually been something that had been picked up on the night.
It's not just that, it kind of makes a little bit of sense with the Samoa Joe on the Titantron as well. That was filmed beforehand. It was easily noticed.
Yes.
Where Samoa Joe said, look, you lost. I said you was going to lose. While the rest of us around us thinking, no, he didn't lose.
No, he didn't.
Technically.
He definitely I mean, the other big story within this is Brock Lesnar's still champion. I mean, this was the guy we all believed was going to put the title down at WrestleMania. Everybody knew that was what's going to happen. Then it was like he's won that. They've got this greatest Royal Rumble. They're obviously going to want Brock Lesnar to be in Jeddah. That makes sense. He's obviously going to lose it there, and he's still got the title.
Well, I've heard rumours...
Not mentioned this week, really.
I've heard rumours at the moment...
Roman saying he's not here.
That he's probably going to be losing it at SummerSlam, but he's supposed to be facing Bobby Lashley. By the sound lately.
I mean, that'll be a great match.
It'll be a great match, but I don't think he needs a push. The thing is, since Bobby Lashley's been back, I feel it's still been quite weak. I don't know why. It's just been... Okay, he's here, but he didn't really make that much of an impact when he was here the first time, and it feels Fame again. I'm gonna say. But
yeah, Bobby Lashley's big because what he's done out of WWE, not what he did in WWE.
yeah.
Lashley's dangerous.
Oh, I like Bobby Lashley. I like him. I don't dislike him.
He did a nasty fall on who was it the other day?
Oh, I don't know.
Who did he do a nasty fall on in the Royal Rumble?
He did a brainbuster. Yeah, I remember.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It was nasty.
Yeah, it did look.
And he could have really seriously injured someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mistakes happen, and I think we can't blame it. I think, he's impressed out of WWE. But he is one of those who's impressed out of WWE. He didn't impress when he was in WWE last time, really.
Yeah.
I can remember. So yeah, it just. I think I do like him. I think he could be good.
Yeah.
But they've just got to find the right storyline for him. I don't, the Brock Lesnar match, it'll be an interesting match, but it's not the match we want, is it? The match we want is Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar again.
And a proper match, not one that really got Brock Lesnar to be. Yeah, don't do that again. It's Braun Strowman. He's powerful. Anyway,
not a freeway. Not a freeway where Braun Strowman can be taken out. None of that nonsense. We want, we just want a one-on-one, no disqualifications. That's absolutely fine.
Yep.
Where Braun can win.
Well, let's move on to our next match anyway. We'll talk about the Intercontinental match from Greatest Royal Rumble in a bit. But one thing that we did say was missing from the Greatest Royal Rumble, and we know why, was the women's matches. So why not have a women's match? It is Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
Set up so well, isn't it?
Oh god, yeah. Just run away!
Your moment of bliss. Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah, please understand, from now on we're just going to call her Bliss, now that both of us have got echoes in the rooms. Just saying that now.
Yeah.
Just being careful. I've never known that name to be so dangerous in households now.
I think so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. I mean, you're presuming that it's not going to be completely clean. Mickey James is going to be involved.
Yeah, I've got a feeling she's going to be better. That's what I've got on the ring side.
She's going to be involved. I expect Nia to win this because it's a positive story, isn't it? But I do love the way they've set it up. The whole bullying storyline where they've switched it to with Bliss and basically saying that she's the victim. That
didn't she do a PSA or something like that about it as well? During one
something
of the...
like
that.
Yeah. She's it's these little moments of bliss they've been doing have been fantastic. So funny.
Oh, a moment of bliss, yeah.
Yeah. I think these will be good matches. I think this will be a really good match.
Well, the thing is,
I expect Nia's going to win.
Yeah, same here.
I don't think this is going to be a good match.
Do you not?
No, I don't. I think it's going to be over really quick.
You think it's going to be Alexa's going to get?
I think it's going to be almost a squash match. I really do.
I hope not.
I'm hoping not, but it's been weekly and it's wonderful. The thing is, I would like this to continue just for the moments of bliss. I'm going to say that now.
Yeah.
But I do expect this to be a very quick match as well. I'm just saying that now.
Yeah, it's going to go like this, GD. It's going to be like the bell's going to ring. Alexa's going to hold her hands up. Then she's going to run out of the ring. Then they're going to be chasing each other around the ring. Then she's going to go through the ring. Eventually she'll catch her. Yeah, eventually she'll catch her, and then it'll be over. That's my prediction.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Is there someone?
The only way it'll last longer is if Mickey James is involved.
It might be a no comp. I think it was going to end up as a no. I don't think it'll be a conclusion. I think it'll be a disqualification. I think.
I'm trying to think. Is there someone
I think Mickey James will be involved.
It could interrupt this match and be the next opponent against Nia Jax.
I don't see it.
No, I don't either. That's the problem.
Don't see it. Not thinking about Raw. I don't see it because it'd have to be heel, really.
Have to be heel.
Nia's definitely face at the moment.
Well, he can't.
I think.
Well, it can't be.
Heel-wise,
it can't be Ronda Rousey in that lot.
No, it's not going to be Ronda.
Too soon for that one.
It's going to be Ronda. Natalia's face at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
Is that
which
the
is
moonbomb?
interesting. She wasn't on this week, was she?
No, I ain't seen her for
She
a bit.
wasn't there this week.
Yeah.
But she's a face as well.
Yeah.
They've got an issue at the moment, actually, when you think about it.
Too many
They haven't
faces,
really got
yeah.
a huge amount of heel women.
Oh!
Apart from the Riot
Oh!
Squad.
I
obviously.
just clicked.
Riot
Yeah,
Squad
what
is
if Riot Squad attacks?
Riot Squad could be involved.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that
Yeah,
Alexa could technically win this is if she somehow teamed up with the Riot Squad.
Yeah. That could be.
That could actually
be a
happen,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say this now. I think Bliss might end up winning this. Just for the Riot Squad idea.
I think she'll win it. She might win it, but I think it'll be a disqualification. I don't think it'll be it'll be a no contest.
There we go. Then I'm going for the exact opposite. I'm going for squash match.
I think squash match. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes with
Well, we've
that
got
match.
8 matches, 3 hours. Gonna have to have some quick ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So, while we are still watching this match on here, we can go back to our greatest Royal Rumble and talk about one of the other matches that kind of we won't have usual time for. Let's talk about the first match that happened on the night: John Cena versus Triple H. We did say that with this match, it was going to point out if it's going to be a home show or not a home show. What's the word?
House show.
House show, thank you. A house show, or if it's going to be something that we should really take seriously. And I think it proved it wasn't something we should take seriously, unfortunately.
No, I think it's very much an exhibition match to start it off with.
It was just an exhibition.
Yeah, it was. You know, Triple H's heart was not in that match. You know, he was just showing off a bit of what he can do.
I think both of their hearts
John Cena
wasn't in
probably
it.
had the best reception he's had for years.
Yeah. That's one thing I want to mention, actually. You know, the end of that match. I understand he just had a match in a very, very hot climate. But he just seemed really out of it, didn't he, at the end of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's certain things that's happened outside the ring that's not helped him.
I think, I mean, obviously there's been a lot going on, isn't there? You know, so, and he made reference to that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did make a very brief reference to it, you know. But it was just an exhibition, wasn't it, really? That's what that one was.
Well, if people didn't know, John Cena ended up winning that match. It was all right.
So the first,
it was an exhibition.
which I think is his first pay-per-view win since WrestleMania last year with Nikki.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he's won one since. So,
he's not been in many pay-per-views, to be honest.
He's been in a few. You think
it's
about
been more than Brock Lesnar, yeah.
WrestleMania thing prior to Royal Rumble, so you know.
So according to the match, Nia Jax is going to be walking out as champion. I think Riot Squad's going to get involved. You think it's going to be a Bliss win but no contest, and Heavenly, you think it's going to be a squash match.
I do.
Dirty Dexter says, I was figuring Bliss would win regardless. Hadn't considered the Riot Squad. WWE's not been keen on giving titles to people who aren't top-notch, and Nia is not top-notch. Jet lag and heat had a lot of people out of sorts that night as well, talking about the John Cena thing. Now, I think with that, it was also...
I can kind of see that viewpoint. I can kind of see that viewpoint about Nia Jax, because really at WrestleMania, they had no option other than for her to win that title.
Yeah.
They didn't have an option. With the way that they'd set it up with the bullying and the horrible things, it would have just been so wrong for women's empowerment if they hadn't have given it to her. So I couldn't. Alexa Bliss definitely makes a better title holder. It's just whether or not they're going to take it off her so soon. So
no, I can't see it.
I don't think they'll take it off her so.
I like Nia.
I do too. I think she's funny.
Is she the best performer in the ring? No, obviously, no, she's not the best performer in the ring, but she's not a bad performer. You know, but so I think
she just needs to get better on the mic.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that'll come. Yeah. So, and she's The Rock's cousin. So.
That's where I put that. So let's move on to the next match anyway. It is for the WWE Championship. It is AJ Styles versus Shinsuke. Oh, it's like we've been here again.
I know.
Yeah, but this is no disqualifications.
So expect a ton of low blows with this one,
How
yeah.
many times are they gonna...
My number's on 5.
And is somebody going to have a countdown in the audience?
Oh, it'd be great, wouldn't it? We want the Suplex City countdown signs from being punched in the balls.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, so like we said, this is for the WWE Championship again. Let's talk about the match at Greatest Royal Rumble. It ended up as a double count-out. This is the main reason why this has become a no disqualification match anyway, is because they want him to, you know, actually have a winner.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right, so, what did
I
you
just
guys...
hope they don't go on with it too much longer.
There's one thing...
You can kill some momentum sometimes.
Yeah.
It was the match on Friday was a better match than the one at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that was good because this was so set up as this is going to be the dream match. These two legendary performers, you know, two of the best performers, you know, of the last couple of decades coming together. First time in the WWE ring, it's going to be awesome. And then I think everyone agreed it really wasn't. And then the match on Friday was actually a good match. It was you know, it finished in a double disqualification. So it was a shame, but it set it up better for this one.
Yeah, but that's not surprising, is it?
No.
Because most of what happened at the Greatest Royal Rumble, I
Yeah.
hate that word. It was mainly
Yeah.
used as like just a filler of the story.
Yeah, yeah,
It was just
yeah.
mention,
It was placeholders.
Yeah.
mention this. We're on about the low blow a fun that's probably going to happen in Backlash. Hey Dexter, do they do the haha I'm wearing a cup this time angle? I sure hope they don't. Oh, that was a...
Could you imagine?
Oh, god damn it.
You know, is AJ Styles going to put a steel in his pants so that it hurts him when he goes for low blow?
Oh, that'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. Yeah.
Some barbed wire.
Yeah. He would have barbed wire, wouldn't he?
Who would that hurt more?
That's asking for trouble, isn't it? Even the great Cactus Jack wouldn't have done that.
No one in the right mind would do that.
I mean,
Either way, I'm looking forward to this match again. It's AJ Styles versus Shinsuke. It'll be interesting to see how the other two matches stack with this one.
Yeah.
But
I think all I know at the moment is that I am really enjoying heel Shinsuke Nakamura.
oh, Sam, yeah, I love his new entrance song as well, man.
yeah.
It's funny. It's just really
awesome.
funny,
Yeah.
and I think that. But my concern is, it's not established enough yet for him to have a title.
So you think AJ's going to be walking out with champion?
No, I don't. I actually think that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win it this time.
Okay.
Because I think that obviously we're all loving heel Shinsuke.
Yes.
I don't think that he should win it because I don't think it's established enough. But I do think I think he will win it.
What about you, Hanksy?
I think it's time for Shinsuke to win.
It's time for him to have gold.
So it's been over a year now, hasn't it, since he's come up on to, and he's not had a title since. And I think, you know, when you look at all that since he's come up, you've had a number of a lot of the other NXT champs, former champs have come up since have actually had the title now. So it's
even for a
had
day.
gold at some point. Yeah. So I think you're going to see. For me, I think it's probably time for him to win the title.
I'm going to agree with you both.
I do get what Emily's saying.
Yeah.
I think it's. I'd like them to establish the heel turn a bit more.
But that's always going to be difficult as well
Yeah.
because of the language.
Yeah.
But
saying
him
that
being a heel suits better with him
It's
not
he
having
does.
full English.
and what I would say as well is the irony. I think actually the whole "I speak no English" thing he's been doing, which when he first did that to Renee Young was hilarious. Really funny. But actually, I think the irony is actually his English has actually got a lot better over the
Yeah,
last
it
6
has.
months.
It has got a lot better.
The promos
yeah.
he was cutting prior to WrestleMania are actually relatively, we're definitely getting better. And I think it's something that all. So I'm not so worried about that. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you both anyway. I do think it is time for Shinsuke to walk away with the gold finally. I think he was due it when he was facing Randy Orton.
Well, he will
as well.
do.
Doesn't matter.
Jinder Mahal want it. I think he was due around that time as well, and I think it's just been a matter of time. It's not an if, it's a when. Like we said last time, I think this is now time for it. Dirty Jet says the way the whole feud has gone would be pointless if Shinsuke doesn't win. I hope he doesn't, because I can't stand the guy as a wrestler. But I can't see him not.
I don't mind. I don't think he's as good as they hype him.
No,
I think he's not as good as AJ. He's not, to me. He's not.
But then again, not many people are as good as AJ at the moment. Yeah.
No, he's not. No, I agree. And AJ Styles he is very special.
it's phenomenal.
Phenomenal. But there are other wrestlers I think who are in that bracket. Like Seth Rollins or like a Finn Balor. They are up there performance-wise.
Well, unfortunately, they're on another brand.
Yeah, but I mean, Shinsuke isn't there. But what Shinsuke does have is huge. Again, for a guy who doesn't speak a lot of English, has a huge amount of charisma.
Yeah.
And we saw that more on NXT, I think.
Yeah, with Neville is
and I think as a heel, I think he could really put that over. So we shall see. I think it's really interesting.
Well, according to the game, AJ Styles is going to squash Shinsuke. I doubt that is going to actually happen, but it's the game's way of saying that it might. And how many times have we been proven wrong by the game? So let's move on. Let's move on to our next match. I do miss Neville as well. Is he still in the contract with WWE?
Nobody really knows. They've never announced.
We were always hoping he'd come back.
They've never announced he left.
What's his face left?
They've never even acknowledged that he left. So we all know.
Oh, he's still under contract. Okay.
Yeah. So he walked out.
Well, he walked out because of the Ento thing. Yeah.
It was the Ento thing, wasn't it?
No,
because he was supposed to lose on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And refused and walked out. And I sort of get that, and I agree, because I think what they did with 205 at that point was wrong. And I think
it's starting to get better again.
Carried the company. Yeah. And I think it was wrong what they did, but my understanding is he's nobody really knows. So as far as we know, he's still under contract. There was talk every couple of months. There seems to be talk of him coming back. We'd all like him to come back.
And I think there'd be a real big cheer if he come back.
It'd be a massive cheer if he came back.
Not to go back onto 205 Live, come back onto the main roster, I think.
That's what I'd like, yeah. I'd like him back on the main roster. I'd like him to be, and I think, as I said, I think he could make a real impact, but I think we'll have to wait and see. He's definitely not wrestling for anybody else. He's not doing anything.
Well, he can't at the moment with under contract. He can't wrestle.
Exactly. So
that would be
he's
awesome.
obviously not trying to negotiate. He doesn't seem to be trying to negotiate out of his contract. So that would you'd presume he wants to sort something out, but I don't know.
Well, anyway, I've been on the screen for a while, but let's go on to our next match anyway. For the WWE Intercontinental Championship, it is Seth Rollins versus The Miz. This is another cross brand.
Yeah.
Be honest.
And again, I think we know who's going to win.
Oh, The Miz.
Ridiculous.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be The Miz, because that would mean both minor titles. I say minor titles. The Intercontinental should never be seen as a minor title. The other titles, should we say? That would mean both other titles would be on SmackDown, because we know the US title is between two SmackDown stars.
I'd say it is annoying calling them minor titles, but WWE do count both the US and the Intercontinental as minor titles because of the other two being the Universal and the WWE Championship. So.
I mean, the point is they're not minor titles.
No, they're still highly prestigious titles. Yeah.
Yeah. When you look at, and they have in the past, they have been. If you look at particularly the US title and what they've done at that previously, you would say that this has been a bit of a, training wheels title. But you've now got this year. We'll come on to this match, but this paper, you've got Jeff Hardy, absolute legend, against Randy Orton. Was it a 13-time world champion. I mean, these are huge stars.
Yeah.
And again, you
they're
look at
starting
Miz
to
versus
actually.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Both of these, these are WWE title, level stars.
These are Hall of Famer level stars. All four of them are Hall of Famer level stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if anyone questions that, come on, The Miz has done so, especially for The Miz, he's done so much so far. There's a reason why I do like him, and he's more than likely going to be taking parental leave after this match, isn't he? To spend some time with his new baby daughter. So that's why a lot of us are thinking that Seth Rollins is going to be walking away. I think it's just to cover the rematch clause in his contract.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But
because his character would want that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? They have to do it because that's his character.
Yeah.
His character would be shouting from the rooftops about his rematch.
Even though technically he had his rematch at Greatest Royal Rumble, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand. It was not just that, they had to fill in the space as well. And it's going to be really interesting to see Seth versus Miz. And we already got an idea who's going to be afterwards.
The greatest botch up of all time when Seth Rollins took the title.
Yeah, right. Okay,
and
so
hit Finn Balor in the eye with it.
Let's talk about the ladders match itself. I think that was it was a really good ladder match anyway. Not one of the best that's been around.
It was,
but it still was
considering that we all knew what the result was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
there
the
was
thing.
no way that Seth Rollins was not going to win that.
Well, that's the thing. Finn Balor could have won it as well.
Finn Balor could have
No,
won
I don't think so.
I
think
think Finn could have won it. And,
it wasn't.
This last week.
It was a brilliant ending to that match. A lot of
it was something different.
It was something.
It was a good ending, but it was really hilarious when he hit him with that belt.
Oh yeah, where you're just looking, thinking, "Wait a minute, what? Oh, I'm bleeding. What the hell? What hit me?"
I know.
I think when I looked,
really nasty cut as well.
Yeah, when I looked at the top, I thought, "What the hell did he hit him? Did he hit himself on the ladder or something?" And then you just see the belt just get pulled off, and think he just got clunked by one of the plates on the Intercontinental Championship. How many people could actually say that's happened to them?
It's funny that was.
But
oh no, that was funny.
Yeah, but like I said, it was still a brilliant match. I think I can't wait to see. We already got an idea who Seth Rollins is more likely going to be facing next after The Miz. It's going to be Finn Balor, isn't it? And I can't wait for that series of matches between those two. Because we've had it like teased a couple of times. We had it the first time they faced each other was for the Universal Championship, which was another brilliant match. Unfortunately, Finn Balor ended up getting injured at the end of that one. And then we've just had over the time with a few bits in here, even though they're both faces now, it's still going to be fun watching them fight each other.
Yeah, well.
And for a highly prestigious title like the Intercontinental title as well, it's the best title on Raw at the moment.
Yeah,
absolutely.
By a long shot, because at least people are competing for it.
Well, it's at least it's actually on Raw, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you never know; it might be on SmackDown after this match.
Oh yeah, but unlikely.
That would be a shocker.
Yeah.
But so I'm trying to think. Well, we've talked about that. So we all think that Seth Rollins is going to win this match. Simple enough.
Yeah.
There's no discussion here with this one. It'll be a huge shock, but then again, it's WWE. They have done it many times to us. If the Miz does not, if the Miz walks out with the championship, it'll be a huge shock. So let's.
He does. He's tied with Chris Jericho as well, isn't he?
Which he's going to be tied with Chris Jericho. He will get that title back. Yeah. It's obvious he's going to get it back.
Oh, he's going to win it at some point.
It'll be a shock if he wins it on the night. Just for the fact that one, he's on SmackDown, and two, we already know he's got other commitments after Backlash.
Yeah.
But, so let's talk about a few more matches from the Greatest Royal Rumble. Let's talk about the two tag team matches. So first of all, the weakest of the two, I would say. SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos. It was another squash match.
Yeah.
They're so boring.
It's only weak because the Bludgeons, isn't it? I just don't get what they're doing with it.
We already knew what was going to happen from this match.
They just don't have any personality.
I think that's their whole persona, isn't it?
Well, the point is that they don't, isn't it? But it's sort of,
no, but the reason why they're like that is because they don't.
I think the problem, the problem is that because of that, it's like we're used to. You look at the other teams. What have we had on? We had the New Day and the Usos have been so good over the last 12 months that it makes this seem. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like they've
boring.
just added this. Oh wow! Now there's this unmovable object known as the Bludgeon Brothers that came out of nowhere and dominating these two teams that has basically carried the SmackDown Tag Team division for the past year.
Yeah.
And
so who's going to take them on and beat them?
Well, I've got already an idea who's going to be. No.
Is it going to be the Bar? But then, just lost.
I've got one for you.
They just lost to Braun Strowman and a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Or
Do you know what I mean? So the Bludgeon's going to beat them.
Do you know who I think might be the next major opponent? Sanity.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would. I think
they could win it.
Which leads on to the road of Sanity is going to be coming to SmackDown soon. Not all of Sanity.
Yes. No. Well, three-fourths of them.
Three-fourths of them. So if people don't know, Alexander Rolfe, Killian Dane and Eric Young are going to be coming over to SmackDown. We don't know when yet. All we know is that it's going to... Yeah, Killian Dane versus Luke Harper. That is going to be a brilliant match. I think Killian Dane versus either one of those two will be a brilliant match.
Yeah.
But the one thing that a lot of people are getting upset at the moment is that Nikki Cross isn't going to be coming over yet with them.
Yeah.
No, and that's a shame because she brings a lot to Sanity.
She gives the personality to Sanity.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying that she's not going over, first of all, because the women's division on NXT has already lost quite a lot. The Ember Moon's gone, the Iconics have gone over to the main roster as well. But at the same time, it feels weird of having Sanity there without her.
I think there's credibility to that argument, I think, because there have been a number of the stronger performers have moved across the main roster. And what we've seen in the past when this has happened is it's meant that a couple of the stronger ones have always been held back. This is why Asuka was held back for so long. This is why Ember Moon was held back for so long. So we know this is what tends to happen. But it's just, I think it's a big shame because I think the fact you had a faction, that wasn't just a faction, a single-sex faction was quite nice, and it was something that was different, something we hadn't really seen massively since DX with China.
Dirty Dex says she deserves to be on the main roster. Yeah, we all agree
she
that
does.
She does.
Absolutely does. Yeah.
Do you know what I like about her is that yes, she's small. And yes, she hasn't got that power wrestling style that they're really enjoying at the moment. But she does a really good job of acting completely fearless and crazy.
Well, she comes over.
And that is something that we are really, really badly missing.
Yeah.
Well,
from some women wrestlers.
The thing is,
she comes over as the more crazy of the four, doesn't she?
Oh God, yeah.
When you've got the likes of Eric Young, and she comes over more crazy.
Yeah.
But that was really nice. We liked that.
It's not
the fact that she threw herself around.
It's not like WWE doesn't have the small wrestlers. Bliss is a small wrestler.
Yeah,
she's tiny.
She's tiny, but she's been multiple champions now on WWE, and I think she's only been there for just over a year, hasn't she?
No,
about 2 years now. But still, she's won a lot of championships already.
The draft, didn't she? Yeah.
And also, Ember Moon is another good example.
They didn't envision that they'd start with. I think she's really worked hard to put herself in that position, and fair play to her for that. Because I think when she came across, we've talked about this before on previous podcast somewhere. The fact that when they originally drafted her in, we had her in that sort of like, oh well, she's pretty, but she's going to be, there in the background, Dana Brooke style, not really doing much. And she really impressed, and she impressed really quickly.
Yeah.
Both performance-wise and mic skills-wise, she was really good. And they took her in a completely different direction to where they took Carmella.
Which we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think actually Carmella is the sort of direction we originally thought they were going to take Bliss, and and they haven't, and fair play for that.
Yeah. But like I said, hopefully Nikki Cross will move over. She'll probably move over in a storyline. Say, I don't know, Sanity versus the Usos. You never know.
She'll turn up at some point, won't she?
She'll turn up at some point. She will be there. She's got to be.
She turns up, takes on, Naomi or something.
Before we move on to the next match, let's just talk about the other tag team match. Welcome Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
I love this team.
We knew who was going to win this match, but it was still a great match.
It was a good match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It really was a good match.
It was funny.
And I think they're going to be a great team. And it's allowing Jeff to do his single stuff, which we really like.
Which he really wanted to do.
And that's good as well.
At the same time, they still do have those moments. I think they had on WWE.com.
Did you see it?
Where I think they was interviewing Jeff Hardy, weren't they, about his win of the US?
Yes, it was brilliant.
They were interviewing Jeff after his win, and Matt coming along behind him, and it was fantastic.
I just look at Jeff thinking, yeah, you're the special one, aren't you, in our family? Yeah, okay, I'm just going to play along.
It was really good. If you haven't seen it, people need to.
Yeah, we do recommend go and watch that bit. Just go and watch Jeff Hardy's interview after Greatest Royal Rumble. It's such a laugh.
He had a little slip into being Brother Nero.
Yeah. You never know. It might just be the sign down the line. Oh God, that's going to happen soon, isn't it?
It will happen.
As
soon as Jeff
give it some
finishes
time.
his singles run, he'll go over to be Brother Nero.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that they'll retire afterwards like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're definitely coming back.
Yeah, can I just say one more thing about the whole Woken of Worlds or whatever. A lot of people have also been saying that we might see Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel join that little stable as well down the line.
Well, they're definitely looking for something.
I would love that. I want to see Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt actually work together for once.
Do I.
I think everyone would like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Bray Wyatt's been on record several times, hasn't he?
That's it, the leader of worlds. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, he's been on record a couple of times now. Bo is actually saying that Bo is the better out of the two of them.
Yeah, he's just not been given the opportunities, which is
he's just never been given those opportunities. He's always been used as a bit of a joke, and I feel
Well,
they tried to turn him heel when he did that little bit of it.
Yeah, that didn't work, did it?
It didn't really work. And then they brought him into the Mr. Arch, which has obviously worked well for them.
Well, let's.
But again.
Yeah.
The pedigree of those two, they deserve better, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's hope that they do. That the rumours are true. That they do join together, and it'll be definitely an interesting stable from that. So anyway, let's move on to our next match. Anyway, I think it is for the other women's championship, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is the champion Carmella versus Charlotte Flair.
Carmella is money.
Right, let's just talk about this quick then. So we did mention a little bit about this during the Greatest Royal Rumble. Carmella is the current champion. She cashed in her Money in the Bank. What was it? About 2-3 weeks ago now.
Yeah. About 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, and
I think I've ever been so happy to see somebody cash in successfully. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of had to do something like that, didn't they? For the fact that it's the first women's Money in the Bank winner. The last thing you want to do is, she got beat.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? I want to give her dues, right? Because when somebody becomes women's champion, for the first time, they always drop kayfabe. But she only did it for a very split second.
Yeah.
And then she went straight back to being Carmella. And she really deserves some props for that.
She didn't really drop kayfabe at all in reality.
But she turned it into
She said, "I'd like." There's
Carmella.
one. She basically said, "There's one person I really, really want to thank for this," and then said, "Me."
Yeah.
She didn't even.
But her tears were genuine.
Yes.
So she turned it into a work.
Yeah.
And you've got to give her some props for that, because look at the times when like Charlotte was proper heel and became champion and was all upset. And do you remember when Bray Wyatt became champion and he completely dropped character, didn't he, when he got that? And I just thought it was great. I thought it was great that she really worked it.
I just want to correct myself on something. Yes, she's the first and second women's Money in the Bank winner. I know. She won both. It's so. Quick question. I'm gonna just ask you guys now. Do you think Carmella is going to be walking out with her championship?
I do.
Yes.
I think she is.
You do?
I don't know how. I don't know how she's going to do it. I mean, she's basically. I mean, the Iconics are going to get involved here, aren't they?
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about
the
that.
Iconics
I think it'll be a
involved.
disqualification.
We've said a lot of these matches are going to end in disqualification at the moment. I'm just going to say that now.
Well, I haven't. You have.
Oh yeah.
I think, as I said, you look. It might not even be a disqualification. The Iconics are going to be involved.
Yes.
They stabled with her this week. They've seen they got this friendship going on at the moment, which it could break and it will break at some point.
Oh yeah,
but I think they'll be
crying
involved.
out loud.
And they are brilliant. I mean,
And
so
also
annoying.
we've got a much needed comic relief going on SmackDown at the moment. With these, do you know what I mean? With the Iconics and with Carmella being the champion as well.
Yeah.
So I really think that they'll keep that going for a little bit, because the male section of SmackDown's really serious.
Yeah.
So I think I think it's really good. Apart from Rusev.
Yeah, Dirty Dex
Is he on Raw?
says no, he's on SmackDown. Well,
No,
that's something.
But that's about to change.
That is making me sad actually with that bit. Dirty Dex says either Iconics or Absolution. Absolution broke up now. Paige pretty much said it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Oh, that was. Oh, I just saw that and thought, wow, just see that face is just.
That was quite brutal. A bit interesting.
But
yeah,
I don't know. I feel sorry. Where was we? So
I've told you before,
I'm here.
and they are setting it up nicely on SmackDown. We are setting up for a women's tag team. I'm telling you, tag team belt.
Yeah.
This year,
I'd like that.
tag team belt.
That's a good point. The other two may
And the
back
SmackDown
someone.
is setting it up really nicely.
Yeah, the other two may back someone else for a new stable on SmackDown.
Yeah, it might do.
Who do you think those two will line up with?
Carmella.
I don't think Carmella.
No, I think Iconics are going to line up with Carmella.
Yeah.
But that was funny when they were on SmackDown when they were like, "Oh, she's coming back." I was like, when she was moonwalking, that was funny.
She goes again.
Oh, Dexter
so
thinks
funny.
Carmella as well. Okay. So what, do you think Iconic's going to betray her or something?
No,
Well, I just don't think. I think they're only in it for the two of them.
The Iconics
There's
are
no
there the
room
two
for
of them. I don't
anybody
think-
else.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. They have, all the way from NXT, they've been like that.
What if Absolution turns face and joins with Charlotte?
Could be.
That'd be
Or what happens? What happens if they actually start a feud between the two of them? No, they could build it that
That'd
way
be
as
fun.
well. So,
I like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't got. Paige is no longer there to play mum, so they basically,
Now she's
stop
playing
squad.
boss.
Yeah.
But
That's what I think possible.
So we all
you going
think
for
Carmella.
Charlotte, then?
No, you know what? I'm gonna go with Carmella for the
Carmella.
fact. Yeah, I think give her a little bit of a run with the championship. It'll be fun. The thing
it's
is,
fun, isn't it? Yeah.
we said the same thing when Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. We thought, well, how long is this guy going to hold on the title? He's probably going to be out a month or something. And he had one of the best runs, and now he's one of the best superstars on Raw at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think it's time to give Carmella the chance as well with this. And we never know, she might become a huge success with the championship. Only time can tell with her. Especially now she hasn't got that, well, what's his face with him? Sorry. Ellsworth,
yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
James Ellsworth. That's show business, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the Iconics are most I was reading that. 1 minute, come back here. I think the Iconics are most likely just doing their own thing, and what they do with Carmella is just because they didn't know what else to do with them for a few episodes. Fair enough. But it's just left them attacking Charlotte for a bit.
They are there for that.
Oh, I just think that like putting them with Carmella just carried on their character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they are meant to be funny, and they are like, the jokers and that, and obviously Carmella has a bit of that persona as well.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely. I think they work perfectly
cementing it
together.
a bit more.
Yeah. I think the
But I don't
Iconics and
necessarily
Carmella.
believe that it means that they'll be a stable.
I would like them to, because I think Carmella and the Iconics, both of them, they seem to have the same attitude with everything at the moment.
It fits,
I think
doesn't it?
it fits perfectly at the moment, yeah. And it's something that what's it called? Smackdown did lack a little bit. They did try and do the stable thing with the women's division, and it didn't work. And I think if you stick with this one, I think it will definitely. So, like I said, we'll see what happens. I think, like I said, Carmella. I think it's all across the board. We'll see how that goes with that one. Let's just, because we keep going back and forth with this, let's just get rid of the rest of the Greatest Royal Rumble while we're here. So, apart from the fun match. So, Cruiserweight Championship.
Can I say then that
Yeah?
I have just remembered who it was that Bobby Lashley really took out, and it was Big Cass. Do you remember he tried to get Big Cass up and dropped him, basically?
Yeah, he tried to get him up, didn't he? Like, does that sort of jackhammer thing, doesn't he? And basically just dropped him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
really,
that could have been real bad.
I loved how, the commentator said, "Oh, it's a brainbuster, yeah! No, it was a mistake."
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it wasn't a brainbuster, so he dropped him.
But if we can also talk about botches, because there were so many of them during the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Oh god, yes.
The Undertaker nearly practically paralysed blinking Aiden English with that
could have been
tombstone.
nasty.
Did you see that?
Well,
That
let's
been
talk
nasty.
about that match anyway. The Undertaker versus Rusev in the casket match.
Jesus. What a
Um,
crap match.
I don't know. I give Rusev his due. He did actually.
crap.
I thought it was alright.
It was just full
I
of
thought
rubbish.
it was a better match than the one at it was a better match than the John Cena one.
Oh,
it
yeah,
actually
I
lasted
agree.
longer.
I just think the Undertaker should not
Yeah.
be wrestling anymore. Do you know
But
what I
I
mean?
think
He's
I
looking so old.
do think the Undertaker. He's not.
He's not good enough to be wrestling anymore.
The
I
thing
know
I
is-
it's
just find it a
horrible to
little
say
bit.
that, but-
I just find it a bit sad. To be
The
honest.
thing
Yeah,
is
but
now
he
he's
could
got
go
to
out
have
on a
at
high
least
as a
one
good
more.
wrestler.
The thing is, he needs to have at least one more match because he's not going to go out at Greatest Royal Rumble against Rusev in a casket
No.
match, is he?
No, it's not.
I've got a feeling, and I think a
it's
lot of
sad.
people have been saying at the moment, rumours are it's going to be a career versus career match at WrestleMania 35 against him and John Cena.
Yeah, could be.
And I think that would be. Look, I don't like John Cena. You guys know I don't like John Cena, but I think that is a great way for him to leave the limelight at that point.
I agree.
Or at least John Cena leave. That would make my
It's
day.
just not good. The problem is, and I think this is my issue with it. The problem, but my problem with the career versus career match is everything's on the line.
Yeah.
These are epic matches, aren't they? Okay.
Yeah.
You look at the Johnny. I know it wasn't career versus career, but with the Johnny Gargano, what's in that Tampa match the other week?
Yeah.
Tampa match.
Oh, it's insane.
Was insane. You know, it meant everything to Johnny Gargano. The Undertaker can't wrestle like his career. He can't wrestle like his career is on the line anymore because he just can't do it.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And it's sad. And he should have gone last WrestleMania. He
Yeah.
should have. Let's face it. He should have gone when he lost to Brock Lesnar. That's when he should have finished.
Yeah.
You know, the streak ends that's it. He carried on, and he's never been the same.
Well, he ended up having a run against Brock Lesnar, didn't he?
Wasn't good. Pardon?
He ended up having a run against Brock Lesnar during that year as well,
That was
didn't
prior.
Was it prior?
Wasn't it? So yeah, the streak match was the third match. He'd lost.
Right.
Brock Lesnar had lost twice to the Undertaker. It was the third match out of three, and he beat, and that's why everyone presumed he was going to lose as well, as well as it being the streak.
Yeah.
And then he won. So I don't know.
Well,
I just think it's a bit of a shame.
Well, like I said, we expect one more
It's
match
not how I
out
want
of
to
him.
remember him.
No, I don't want to remember him like this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you've got to remember him for what he's done over the rest of the time. He's the guy who has basically got that long streak, which you should be remembered. And be honest, everything else that happened after that happened.
Shawn Michaels match is the one we should be remembering.
Oh God, the Shawn Michaels and the Triple H match as well. Yeah.
Yeah. The Triple H one, the Shawn Michaels one, which I think for me was one of the best matches of all time.
Oh, and the one against CM Punk as well. I like that match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember him for matches that, like
Bray
John Cena,
Wyatt.
where he does basically, he can't do the last rights anymore because he can't lift them.
No.
It's questionable whether he can do a tombstone anymore.
His match against Edge as well, yeah. That's another brilliant match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these are all 10 years ago, aren't they?
I know.
That's the problem.
If not more.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just see what match we're going to have on the screen next. I think it is.
Oh, can I just say about that match as well?
Yeah.
If you really want to have a giggle,
Yeah.
have a look at when the Undertaker chucks Rusev into the casket, because he actually doesn't get Rusev's head in the casket, and Rusev has to wiggle down to fit in it.
He does. I saw that at the time. He had to wiggle into the casket. Basically, the Undertaker didn't win that match because Rusev put himself into the casket.
So that's amazing too.
Yeah. So anyway, the next match we've got on the screen is Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. We are going to talk about that in a minute. I just want to, like I said, get through the rest of the Great Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble first.
Yeah. Because we are. So where are we? So we've done the Woken United States Championship. Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
It was all right match.
Oh, the right person won, didn't
Yeah, of course.
the right person won.
It was all right, and it's like I said, we kind of figured out. I think after the first match, we kind of figured out we know what this path is going down. Neville versus Enzo too.
Yeah.
No. So, what did you guys think, Heavenly? What did you think of the Jeff Hardy match?
Who was he against again?
That's the problem.
Exactly.
That's the problem. I think that's exactly the issue. It was against Jinder. And I mean, that's sort of the problem.
Oh, that would have been why I've forgotten about it.
It was Jinder Mahal. It wasn't a terrible match, but I've struggled to remember much about it.
Yeah, same here.
The right person won, but yeah.
It was boring. That's all I can if I can't remember it, it must have been boring.
Which you should never say about a Jeff Hardy match, but yeah, it wasn't.
No.
We knew he was going to win.
Jeff Hardy needs to be against the right people.
We knew he was going to win it.
We'll see what he's like against Randy Orton.
Played out as we expected.
Yeah, but I don't like Randy Orton either. I think he's.
I find Randy Orton. Randy Orton's. I just find it quite boring at the moment.
Next thing, the 4 WWE prospects from Saudi Arabia eject Sean and the Davari brothers from the ring.
Can we just admit to fast forward in this match?
Yeah, we didn't even. I gotta admit, I didn't watch this one.
You didn't watch this. The thing is, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about what has happened afterwards. There's been so much bloody heat because of that, because of the Iranian flag thing, and they actually had to explain to him, guys, these are characters. This is not what our actual beliefs are. This is a character that we played. There was actually death threats sent to him as well, been told.
Yeah.
It
was always a bit of a.
It's a tough,
to me, this was a little bit. You've only put to be having an Iranian flag waving in a Saudi sports stadium was always going to be a bit dodgy. I've got to admit. I've got to admit, I thought to have this whole gimmick Oh, it's Saudi Arabia versus Iran type.
Yay, we've got Saudi Arabia people we're never going to hear of again.
I just thought it was a bit, for me, from the bits we did say and from what I've read since and whatnot, I just feel quite uneasy about the whole thing.
Yeah.
To me, it felt a little bit like going back to some of the old bad days of WWE when we've had these gimmick matches, which are just a little bit uneasy to watch.
Well, either way, it was 4 people that we probably won't hear of again who are going to be in the So, yeah. And, of course, the last match we've got on here, the 50-man Greatest Royal Rumble match.
Oh, do you know what? It was rubbish.
It was okay.
Braun Strowman won it, but I just want to get out of this whole thing of, let's just shove every single member of a tag team. It was so boring because of that. I mean, we obviously saw people pop out who we haven't seen for months. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So,
they're still around.
wow, are they still signed? I know, it was like amazing.
Oh, God, it's one of the clones again.
Some of the things. I know. And one of them botched to get in the ring as well.
Can we talk about the botch, please? The major botch.
Titus O'Neil.
Oh, poor fella. I really do feel sorry for him.
You know what? I've cast aspersions about this Greatest Royal Rumble for the last 2 podcasts we've done. It was worth them doing it
just for that.
Just for that.
It was
Titus
so funny.
World Slide. It was just worth it for that.
World Slide.
I do.
It was the funny thing though. Well, when it first happened, right? Obviously knew that he was coming in, but they didn't show him fall over to start off with. And I was like.
You knew it.
You just heard Corey Graves just laughing his head off, thinking.
The reason you knew about it was because Corey Graves cracked up.
Corey
Graves completely, and
he lost
just
it.
Completely lost it. And then it was sitting next to. He was on the trying to figure who it was. It was Michael Cole, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Michael Cole then picked up on it, and then the two of them for I think Byron sat at a cover. About 2 minutes because they couldn't speak.
You don't know how hard it is for us because we'd seen it before you saw it, and I wanted to tell you about it. So
because it was the best thing that happened.
When you guys mentioned Titus O'Neil, I was basically watching the rest of the Royal Rumble match, thinking, right, I've got to. When is Titus O'Neil? Here he comes, and then they pinpoint onto the actual ring, and I'm thinking, where is he? Where'd he go?
Oh, it's just brilliant. It was just brilliant. And then when you saw it afterwards, you were just like, do you know what? It is really funny, but God, he's so lucky that he landed where he landed. He could have really hurt himself.
Yeah, I do feel sorry for Titus O'Neil a little bit here because this is going to be the thing that people are going to remember him for at the same time.
Yeah, but to be fair, he did the right thing this week.
Yeah, he's actually playing with it.
Taking the piss out of himself.
Yeah.
I was laughed at it, and I do think you're right. Because actually, he's a really nice guy. That TED talk he did. If anybody's ever seen the TED talk,
no, I haven't.
It was brilliant. He's an incredibly clever guy. But he will always be remembered.
I know.
Can we
also have a minute's silence for poor Daniel Bryan's chest?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It looked like raw burger meat, didn't it?
He really has come back with a passion. You cannot fault him at all, can you?
Let's talk a little bit about Daniel Bryan anyway. Let's talk about the match that he's got on here against Big Cass, because the match is actually finished on the screen. So Daniel Bryan wasn't there this week as well, wasn't he? Because he wasn't medically cleared or something? Again?
Yeah, because of his chest.
Because of his chest? What the hell did he hit? You're looking at him thinking...
If you watch it, right?
Yeah. It's because he was hanging on the ropes.
The amount of times that people had him hanging by his chest on the ropes, that's what really, really bruised and cut him up. And you can see the longer it goes on, the worse it's getting.
Oh god, yeah! You couldn't not miss it.
Yeah.
It was just evil. But he does do that, doesn't he? Do you know? And he throws himself in things so much.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the reasons why he wasn't
he's
able to
happy
wrestle
he's
for
back.
so
It's
long.
been, what, 3 years, hasn't it, since he was back in the ring? And
Yeah.
I understand why he's happy he's back, but he's still got to be careful. He's taking every moment as he can, but be careful.
You know what? It wasn't as bad because they made a big thing about on SmackDown this week. They made a thing about him being not clear to wrestle,
Yeah,
but he did wrestle Tuesday. He wrestled in a dark match.
right.
Shinsuke Nakamura after Raw, after SmackDown had stopped airing. He wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura and beat Nakamura in a dark match. So it's obviously at work, and that's interesting. Coming back to Nakamura, they're obviously they're setting things up. Obviously, they're practicing and starting things out because there's going to be a feud between those two.
What about this feud
Oh,
though?
and that
About
makes sense for a title as well.
yeah,
That makes me think even more that
Shinsuke's
Nakamura is
gonna-
going to win the title now.
what about the
Yeah.
feud between him and Cass though? What do you guys think of this?
I think it'll be over pretty quick.
What do you think?
Oh, it's a good.
I think it's going to be a good match. Yeah.
It's little and large.
No, I
innit?
think it'll be a good match. I mean, I think that the feud will be over pretty quick.
Oh, I thought you meant
Yeah.
the match. I would say I don't think it's going to be
No.
gone quick because one, Big Cass is not going to be squashed, and I definitely know
No.
Daniel Bryan's not going to be squashed. And what momentum they've got with him at the moment.
No, but I think what they will do is they'll be garnering support for Daniel Bryan by making it seemingly a squash match.
Yeah.
You know, that thing they do where, you know, basically Big Cass is going to come out to start off with, he's going to destroy him a lot, and, you know, he's going to jump out at 2.5, you know, and all that, loads. And it's going to be like a squash match, and then he's going to build himself back up because he very much wants exactly the same, you know, character as what he had last time.
It's that
So,
Jason and Goliath thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a Jason and Goliath thing.
it's
you know,
going to be a
little
typical
guy.
Daniel Bryan
Yeah,
match.
and that's how it's talked up this week with Cass basically saying he's just a little guy. He's the same as you guys. He's not a superstar.
Guy
And that's how
that
they
picks
would
up his
play it.
trash.
And I think, yeah, and I think this is a good match to reintroduce because for both of them, I think this is a nice little feud to ease them both back in.
Yeah.
Really, because I mean, Daniel Bryan's hit the ground running at 100 miles an hour. We've commented on that. But this is his first proper feud, and this will ease him back in nicely. And you know, it's also at the same time easing Cass back in nicely.
Yeah.
Cass's mic skills are like wow
Yeah, he's definitely improved.
compared with where he
He's
was.
really, really,
Can see, yeah.
really improved. Yeah.
We can see what he's been practicing for the last 8 months. You know, so because he didn't have to do that before because Enzo was Enzo and he was so good.
Yeah. Well, according to the game anyway, Big Cass is going to win. So you guys both think Daniel Bryan's going to win this?
No, I think Big Cass will win.
You think Big Cass
Because
is
I
going to win?
think he won't win easy, but
No, I don't
he
think it's
will
gonna be easy.
win. So, but I think
I can't
they're going to be. I think they're going down the underdog route with Daniel Bryan again. So
Yeah.
I think that's the route they're going to go down with him.
I'd still see that, but I'd be very surprised if Daniel Bryan didn't win this match.
I'm going to say Big Cass as well, mate. Just for the fact that I think they might want to build momentum with him as well. And I think it'll be... that's the thing. This is going to be a really
Yeah, they're
tough match.
obviously setting him up
Yeah.
to be something a bit special. So
Because we do want to see
What
Daniel
would
Bryan
be
versus
anticipated.
Shinsuke, but at the same time, Big Cass is Big Cass. He does need the momentum now as well. He's just come back.
Yeah.
So, and it'll be kind of embarrassing if he ends up losing again in his first pay-per-view match coming back as well. If you don't count the Royal Rumble, so the
yeah.
Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that goes. We are coming to near the end of this anyway. So, any more things you guys want to mention about Greatest Royal Rumble? One thing I want to mention is that they've basically hidden the title now. If you guys noticed. That was given to Braun Strowman got a new title, which I love the title because it's green and it looks like our CTG Championship.
Oh, no. It'll never be seen again.
No,
No.
but,
No.
It was ridiculous.
I want that title. I really do want that title. It looks really nice.
And also, yeah, and then there's something else that's funny, right? Again, if you look at this at the end, the dignitary, whoever the dignitary
I wasn't going to give it
who
him.
was there at the end of the ring, right, was going to try to attempt to give him that massive trophy.
Oh,
and Vince
God,
had to
yeah.
basically quite sort of calmly say to him, he's giving him the belt, you ain't going to lift that.
Yeah,
And the
Braun
title
Strowman won't be able to
sitting
lift
there.
this, mate. Don't you dare.
But it was like he was going to try and give it him, which was great. So that was good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, it was. I still feel it was a glorified house show.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few decent moments.
I
in
didn't
it,
like it.
but I don't like the name. There is a long-term contract.
Yeah, I think they said 3 years.
3 years. Yeah. Let's just hope that they have time to build.
I was disappeared because I thought with it being a 50-man Royal Rumble, we might get some surprise old
There was no
faces.
surprises.
And I
was there?
really would have preferred that.
Yeah, there was no surprises. There was lots of, as you say, tag teams.
Oh, well, there was one huge
there was-
surprise. Well, not that huge. Hornswoggle.
That was good.
That was funny.
Yeah. But I think overall, I think it was just. I don't know.
I
just
was
hope
really
next
hoping
year.
for a Dean Ambrose comeback as
Yeah,
well.
same here.
Yeah, I think Dean Ambrose is injured again. I think
I
there's
think
been
it is
complications.
August, yeah.
I'm saying it.
Yeah.
I think there's complications because they reckoned because they pulled Dean Ambrose from, I believe, from he was supposed to be at WrestleMania at the Meet the Fans, the Access.
Yeah, and he was pulled
WrestleMania
off,
Access.
yeah.
They were supposed to be there and they pulled him. So I think there's been a setback. I don't know.
Well, how do you... So, what do you rate Greatest Royal Rumble if you had to?
Just last point on Greatest Royal Rumble. Next year, if they can build... It could be a good event, but they need to build it in properly. Because they didn't this year. You know, which has led to us having effectively two pay-per-views within a week of each other.
Yeah, if you do that next time, come on, have a break. We've got 5 weeks after this before Money in the Bank, so come on, we can handle a break. From Dirty Dexter, I agree. This is one of my favourite parts of the Greatest Royal Rumble match. Was when the Shane get up Shane, and then Strowman throws him through the table, and Daniel Bryan goes about the match like, "Well, I tried."
Yeah.
I tell you what, we didn't mention that, did we? Shane went through that table.
Oh, he went flying.
He didn't just.
But he nailed that landing.
Yeah.
So good.
Beautiful.
He didn't just land on the table and then the table collapsed. He went through it. I mean, that was, which didn't surprise us. It's Shane, but
Well, you still got to love the whole Daniel Bryan thing. Oh no! Oh, you've got. Let's just continue with the match. Come on, let's go. I'm still in the match. Yeah. Oh god, my friend's just gone through a table. I don't give a damn. Let's continue fighting. But what about you, Heavenly? How did you rate Greatest Royal Rumble and home?
I'd give it out of what?
Hey,
5?
give it out of 5 WrestleManias.
I would give it 2.
Hanksy?
No.
yeah, I'd probably agree with that. As I say, I think there's some good moments within it. It just wasn't built up enough, was it?
I'll give it 3 Braun Strowmans out of 5. Oh, what? Shane was still writhing on the outside when Vince was presenting Strowman his prize and paid no attention to Shane at all.
Yes, that's right, he was. I know. So funny.
Oh, anyway, let's play this last match then. It is the US Championship, Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. We've got this and one more match we need to talk about that's happening at Backlash. So let's talk about this one first. So Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. I'm happy that
match for me.
it's a normal match, but it's going to be one of those. I don't see Jeff not losing this match. I hope Jeff doesn't lose this match. I don't want Randy Orton holding the championship again. That was boring for the whole month.
Oh, it was.
For me, I'm bored of Randy Orton's character at the moment.
Damn you. He needs to be a heel.
And you know what? Do you know who else is bored with Randy Orton's character?
Randy Orton?
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see it.
Oh God, he couldn't stay in character, could he? On Tuesday?
He can't stay in character anyway. He's always been bad at sticking to kayfabe. But I mean, there was twice the Miz actually properly cracked him up on Tuesday, which is funny. He broke kayfabe twice in a 5-minute segment. But it was like, I don't know. I think they need to turn him heel.
Yeah.
The great Randy Orton runs are always when he's
Well, it
here.
was a Legend Killer
He's
run, was one of my
vindictive, he's
favourites.
malicious. Yeah. You know, he's got that vindictive streak, he's malicious, he's nasty, he's all the things you want from an arch heel. You know?
Oh, can we talk about what actually happened on SmackDown with the... I don't think anyone cares about SmackDown top 10 list, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that.
1 minute, we've got to play that match again. I think it went into a count out or something.
I mean, as I say, I don't know.
Randy Orton is terrible for breaking character anyway, so they just need to turn him heel.
I think they should turn him, and I think, because, it's
there
just...
There are a few people at the moment that need to turn heel, and they're not doing it.
They fly. I don't really get it. I just find him boring at the moment. The whole RK out of nowhere thing is boring because it's not out of nowhere anymore.
We can't predict it. Yeah.
You know.
It's when it is out of nowhere, and that's when it works. Like,
exactly.
Well, it's someone that it doesn't involve Randy Orton at all, just having an interview backstage, and what happens? RKO out of nowhere. Yeah. I would love that. He just does it for no reason. Yeah. He's not fighting this person. He is now.
And that's really his best, isn't it? Where they're interviews or someone's in the ring and all of a sudden he bursts in and does it.
Yeah. I think one of my favourites was Brock Lesnar, where what's it called? Paul Heyman says, you can't touch Brock Lesnar, and what happens? Randy Orton comes out of nowhere and RKO's him.
Yeah. And that was great.
Yeah, that's when it works.
And that was worse. But after a match when he's just been with Jeff Hardy, you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
It wasn't out of nowhere. It would have been a bigger surprise
had
they shook hands and given each other a hug at the end, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would have been a surprise.
It would have been a huge surprise if Randy Orton hugged anyone.
Yeah. An RKO at the end was not a surprise. It was boring. And I've just had enough of it now.
So, let me guess. Jeff Hardy?
Yeah. There's hope.
Yep.
There's really hope.
Same here. So, anyway, the other match we've got to talk about, Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Team Yep.
I want Team Yep.
Team Yep.
To win.
I don't think it's not going to be Team Yep. It's going to be Braun Strowman winning it.
I like Braun Strowman, but I don't like Bobby Lashley.
I don't dislike Bobby Lashley.
I'm just like, look,
Kevin
for God's sake,
who's the heel in this match?
The guy on your head. I hate it when Goldberg does it. You don't need to do it as well. Just drop him.
Yeah.
Put him down.
Oh, well.
Put him down.
Yeah. Oh, Whippy, you're very strong.
It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, for me...
We've got Braun Strowman. He's strong, and he doesn't do that.
The person you're picking up has got good balance.
Yeah.
Okay, they've got good balance.
I just want Kevin and Sammy to be carrying titles again, because that's what we want, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I do too. But it's difficult because Kevin and Owens and Zayn are gonna have the people back. It's gonna be one of those weird matches.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Braun Strowman. Yeah. Everyone loves Owens and Zayn at the moment, and it's just okay. What do we do here? The only time they're going to boo is when Bobby Lashley's... I don't even know if they're going to boo, because most of them still not so sure what Bobby Lashley does.
No, I think exactly. He doesn't really.
We're in a generation at the moment who probably don't remember Bobby Lashley's original run on WWE.
No, most people won't.
To a point there,
because it wasn't.
He had a match at WrestleMania where he represented Donald Trump in a hair versus hair match.
Yeah. He wasn't, to be fair, he wasn't that great a run in the first place. So that's the problem, isn't it? But Shelton Benjamin coming back was a big thing, because people remember Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
I don't think Bobby Lashley's more famous now for his NXT. Not NXT, his TNA.
Yeah.
That's what people know him for.
The thing is, he had a brilliant run on NXT. I'm saying it now. On TNA.
On TNA.
Impact. Let's go with Impact.
That's have a decent run on TNA. They didn't exactly have anybody else to take.
No.
There, did they?
Yeah, they had a very weak platform there, and it's not just that. Even when he did have that run on TNA, a lot of people were thinking, "Well, okay, well done. He's got a championship there." I'm gonna go back over here and watch WWE. So I'll be right back. You keep hold of that title, and then we'll come back and see how you're doing. All right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand why they ended up bringing Lashley back because he was technically hot property coming out from TNA at that point. But like I said, a lot of us are like, yeah, he's here, awesome. But then again, it could be that he hasn't got that storyline yet. He needs that storyline that really pushes him. At the moment, we can't tell if he's a face or if he's a heel.
He's only been back a month, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you know how I think they could make him interesting to me? And it could happen in this match. Have him betray Braun Strowman. Because the one thing Braun Strowman hates is being betrayed by teammates. You see what he did to Triple H during the Survivor Series match?
Yeah.
He pretty much choked him out.
Yeah.
But, anyway, the match. Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Who do you think's going to win?
Oh, it's going to be Braun Strowman, isn't it? And Bobby Lashley, I can't see.
Yeah.
I think this could be one of the better matches. I really can't. I do think that, as I say, it'd be a really odd one if Braun Strowman lost.
What he
With
did
the
to the
momentum, I
bar,
think
Kane,
that
and
they're
the
going to
Miz,
start giving him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is a guy who beat the bar with a 10-year-old child.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be very surprised
He
if he
ended up
can't
putting
beat Kevin
Kane-
Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, he's destructive, but he's fun destructive.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you? Is Heavenly still there?
She is.
Yeah.
Oh, hiya. Heavenly, what about you?
Sorry.
Who do you think is going to win? Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn?
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
You do? Do you really?
I do.
I'm going to say
If they
this
do,
now.
if they do, it isn't going to be
I don't think
Neat.
clean, is it?
No.
I think
Well, they don't play clean.
no. I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as well. Mainly because I'm hoping Bobby Lashley betrays Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Just so that there is a storyline there, and it's not just that it gives Bobby
And
Lashley
that
something
would
to
be-
do, and it gives Braun Strowman something to do when it comes to.
And that would be an interesting feud, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
That would
I
be
think
an
it'll be a
interesting
really
feud.
interesting feud. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, make Bobby
but
Lashley
obviously
a
after
heel.
this, it's going to be all. Yeah. And which I think he'd do
I don't
well.
think he'd want that though.
Oh, I don't know. He's been heel before.
Yeah.
He's been heel before. And he's good. To be fair.
Yeah.
So I think wait and watch this space.
Well, guys, that is it. That is our predictions for
Yes.
Backlash. We have come to another end of this. So, thank you guys for joining me for this. And, of course,
Yeah, no problem
before
at
we
all.
go, we do need to mention what is happening this weekend on with us here as I switch over to it. Yes, we have our Descent into Insanity 3. Both me and Hanksy are going to be doing it this year for the 24-hour stream.
Yep.
Starting at 7 PM on the 5th of May. You can see the list of games that we're playing right now on the screen. And of course, where you can find us, twitch.tv/GDW2007, youtube.com/CraveYourGames with an S, mixer.com/CraveYourGame, and also we'll be on Periscope at CraveYourGame as well. And of course, we are doing this for special effect. So if you do want to either just to join us to say hi, or if you do want to donate to us for this as well, just go to justgiving.com/fundraising/DII3. More information will also be on that site as well. So,
Yep.
let's switch back over. No, actually, let's leave it on there so people can still watch it. So, guys, I've got 5 weeks off before our next pay-per-view, which is, of course, Money in the Bank.
Money in the
isn't it?
Bank.
Yes.
Oh, Money in the Bank.
What?
Money in the Bank.
We haven't just got Money in the Bank. We've also got next time we're here, which is going to be the week of June the 16th. We have NXT TakeOver Chicago happening as well. And we are going to be talking about the return of the United Kingdom Championship Tournament, which is happening on the 18th to the 19th of June. And it's going to be in London at the Royal Albert Hall as well.
Yeah, it should be cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to see them bringing this more into the main roster.
What, the United Kingdom Championship?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, because there needs to be title matches in them, you know.
There's been a few.
Yeah, but it's been NXT.
Yeah, but you know that they're not going to win them.
There's been a few, but it's been basically between Tyler Bates and what's his name? Pete Dunne, hasn't it, really? But there's been a few others who have moved across. Trent Seven's been involved a bit. And,
Yeah.
Danny, what's his name? Has been in it a bit. But yeah, I do agree. I think there needs to be more defences. Well, the issue is we were promised, or it was hinted. I think we were promised. We were told by Triple H this was going to be a weekly, or
there
a
is
monthly
still
type show. And
there's
we've not
still
had that.
rumours at the moment. I think at the moment because the plan was that the World of Wrestling was supposed to be coming as well, and that's kind of just been put to the wayside. But we've been also told by ITV themselves that wrestling is coming back to ITV real soon as well. I don't know if it's going to be the WWE side of thing that's going to be coming over, or if it's going to be World of Wrestling.
There was an interesting thing on NXT. I'm trying to think who it was, but somebody was wearing a Progress Wrestling t-shirt the other week, weren't they?
I didn't see
picked
that.
up. Somebody, I'm trying to think what her name is now. It was the one who Shayna Baszler put out of action first.
Oh,
I think what her name is. Oh, I can't remember what her name is now.
Something
But
Kai?
she was doing, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's her name? Kai. I think. Anyway,
Yeah.
she was doing a promo on NXT, and it wasn't spoken about and all that, but she was wearing a top, and you couldn't even see it properly, but you could see enough of it to see that it was a Progress Wrestling top.
Yeah.
So I'm presuming, whatever Progress are called now, the full name, but so what people are thinking, and this is just rumour, people are putting two and two together and coming up with something, but what people are thinking is they're going to be a tie-up.
What, Progress and
WWE
WWE?
Progress, which would make sense because I mean a lot of the stars that were on. If you look at the likes of Trent Seven and Tyler Bates, they were all Progress wrestlers, Progress wrestling before, weren't they? So maybe there's going to be a tie-up. Whether it's going to be a full merger, whether it'll be a full takeover, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the news at the moment. Well, the thing is, Progress was at WrestleMania weekend as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, and it would be a good idea for WWE to do that. Make something that's already established here in the UK, and just build on that. And I think Progress would be the best one to do. They're already working close together, so why not push it further down the line as well? But all we can do is wait and see what happens with that. Like I said, we will be back with the CTG Wrestle podcast in about 5 weeks' time with Money in the Bank. One of my favourite ones as well. It'll be interesting to see how many Money in the Bank matches we have out of this and how they actually do it with it being Raw and Smackdown. So
it's going to be interesting.
Again, thank you, Hanksy. Thank you, Heavenly, for joining me for this one again.
You're very welcome.
It's a pleasure.
And until next time, thank you and goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.